Welcome to the R.M. Show, where we do contemporary fine art.
Dr. Dana Murray Patterson is a nationally recognized educator, published author, and cultural thought leader with over 25 years of institutional knowledge from service to 8 accredited colleges and universities. Dr. Patterson currently works as the Director for Intercultural Affairs at Western Carolina University and promotes consultation services to private campuses and community affiliates. Her recent audiences and clients include City of Cincinnati Police Department, Yellow Springs School District, Folkmoot, Sam's Club, Hastings College, and Wilberforce University, just to name a few. She is a gifted and seasoned facilitator committed to developing empathy and increasing capacity for social justice, healing, and understanding. For episode number 4, Ricky drew inspiration from Dr. Patterson's poem titled, Wait, Can I Get an Interpreter, Please? His inspiration from the poem led Ricky to paint at the Stephanie Tubbs Jones RTA Transit Station.
So I'd like to read for you a poem that I included with my dissertation, which was entitled Divorcing the Doctor by Dr. Dana Murray Patterson. And the poem, which is a spoken word piece, I wanted to write to really accompany that dissertation because I wanted to make it accessible to people who might not read dissertations. So it's entitled, Wait, Can I Get an Interpreter, Please? Wait, before you open that book and close your mind, there are voices that haven't been heard yet, faces that haven't been set yet among the chosen few. Black women that wade like misfits through the murky, chilly waters of academic culture, trying to pretend that they are swimming. Even as the light around them is dimming, they continue to keep pretending that to be black and female is somehow to be black or female. Wait. Before you look the other directions as mentors and friends turn self-righteous backs at dividends on willing protégés in order to embrace the other to fulfill their own perceived intelligence quotas, there are black women straddling the identity fence, trying to decide if it's better to be despised for their blackness or deemed invisible. Hence, they sit on a fence that tears at their reality. For to be a woman rarely means that there's a black sheep, and to be a black one is to have been born a native son. Wait, before you look injustice squarely in her blue eyes and proclaim that we should realize how things must change, the only thing constant is change. So she's not really insane. It's just that black Barbie don't exist, and my head hurts thinking about all this liberal consciousness giving way to a self-gratification that excludes the emancipation of women who are not white enough and blacks who are not male enough. Wait. Before you believe another little white lie told at the expense of a big black woman who knows more than she should and cries more than she would if this story was not true. Students before they had classrooms, and scholars before they were legally allowed to, they fight an unseen enemy in an undeclared war, dying undeserved deaths, facing an uneven score. But wait, black women are changing things. Their destinies, their minds, their agenda, their time, their protocols, their boundaries, their limits, their wants and needs, their hearts, their souls, their hair, their clothes, their style, their walk, their sound, their talk, their. See, black women are changing things. Wait. Before you decide that black female scholars are just an anomaly, listen to my mommy and my sisters as they spit their academic souls and brace yourself for the fire that burns cold. You see, they are breaking us off a piece of their reality, and if we are not strong enough, we will choke on the rhetoric of their identity, mistaking it for a lump in our collective throats. Wait. Before you challenge her commitment, just follow her to a place where everyone speaks to her in a strange dialect and the interpreters are all off duty now. I said the interpreters are all off duty now. those who know won't tell, and those who tell sure as hell don't know. Those black people in white clothes who have forgotten how they got here, and those women in men's clothes who have forgotten to make the rough path clear for the prodigal children of slaves who refuse to be lost in the middle passage just to get us here. Wait. Before you charge another black woman admission to a show that she really doesn't care to see, consider that the price that she pays is more than just her fee. Writing IOUs to her family, she borrows time that she has no means to pay back. Still, the interpreters are all off duty now. Checking her own pulse becomes the theme that reminds her of her humanness. But how the hell does she keep on doing this, and what has become of her blackness? Can't she give you back this educated service? You placed it on her cervix, but the children that she births hurt too much. Still, we can't afford to wait because our sisters are smoking crack and our children will not grow back and our mothers are dying slowly, yet you steady trying to show me that I am not strong enough. Our men act like they hate us as they physically and mentally rape us. Don't they know their greatness helped create us? Yet we watch their backs so faithfully and we lift them up so gracefully. Silent prayers where self-esteem used to be. Rising to an academic call that forces us to walk tall and won't let us think small in this white man's world and all. You see, we can't afford to fall. We are obliged to hear the call. Can't you hear them? The ones that had to die just so we can make it are the same ones that provide strength when we feel like we can't take it. That's why we refuse to sleep when others do, and we're handing this diversity challenge back to you. We got too much goddamn work to do. Nursing babies while writing books and nursing egos while we fighting off dirty looks. They question our right to even be here. Oh, I suppose it's probably still not clear. You see, we are intellectual masterpieces. The academic game didn't create us, but it needs us. I guess I'll just go ahead and say this just in case this message reaches places that aren't yet gender racist. I can't believe I even have to say this. I am a black woman. Now, can I get an interpreter, please? You see, my grandparents already paid the damn property fees. I need to know what others know, and I'm feeling a sudden urge to disrupt this show as I sit with my daughters on this front back row. An interpreter's attention, I think I need one. Oh, hell, never mind. I'm already done. I already got what you said I couldn't have, and I already been where you said there was no path. I'm already running, although I just learned how to walk, and I'm already singing, although I just learned how to talk. I'm already doing what I know I have to do, and I'm already using the information I just gave you. But wait. There are voices that haven't been heard yet and faces that haven't been set yet among the chosen few. And just wait, because we have a story too. Thank you.
Welcome to the R.M. show, everyone. I am your host, Ricky Meredith. Today we have a special segment. We are at the Ohio State University. We are live on the campus right now. I have my special guest, Dr. Dana Patterson. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
It's a pleasure. Like everybody else and all the fans want to know that's tuning in today, what have you here today at Ohio State?
Wow, I tell you, Mr. Meredith, I traveled 7.5, maybe 8 hours on the road just to get to the Ohio State University from Western Carolina University. So was on the road, thought I even saw a little snow coming down as I was coming down the road. I was like, no, I'm not ready. But I am here attending the National Association of Black Culture Centers and Multicultural Centers, ABCC. I used to be on their board, but I'm here just to sort of reconnect with the group. And I did a presentation yesterday where I read my little poem, and I had an opportunity to talk to some people about what the work that we're doing. So even though I don't work in a Black Culture Center anymore, I get to work in an intercultural center, which is an expansion of the work that I was doing in the Black Culture Center.
Right. So let me ask you, what defines the difference on you doing that now and this here?
Well, the work that I do, is connected to a bigger piece. A lot of colleges and universities, especially predominantly white colleges and universities, have cultural centers to try to provide a safe space for students who are historically underrepresented, from historically underrepresented minorities. And so when those students need a place to gather, they need some staff and faculty that they know are going to be advocates and allies for them, to really battle what it takes to be on a college campus, especially all the time. Like, you're in a sea of whiteness all the time, and you never get an opportunity to get with your own people and have. Some of them have never had even a professor that even looks like them. And so our office provides a safe haven for those folks, but we also provide a place where we educate the entire campus about issues around diversity and inclusive excellence, because that involves everybody. So we really have kind of like a two-pronged mission when it comes down to the work we do. This organization, the ABCC, they have been in existence for almost 30 years or so, and they have been doing this work, connected all the cultural centers all over the country. And so it's really exciting. When I was on their board, I was on the board as a grad student, and then again as a professional when I was at Wright State. But they really have a mission to really go forth and try and bring all of these cultural centers together so that they can share information amongst each other and nobody feels alone. Because when you're out here on a predominantly white campus doing this work, sometimes you feel like you're just all by yourself and there's nobody that can understand what you're going through. I think that a lot because I'm in the mountains now, but I love it.
I love that. That is so powerful and motivation, because like I've been telling everybody since I started this show, it's hard sometimes when you just on the shell and it's just yourself. When you got a support team and someone's there to push you in this genuine love like you display now, and the whole time I came here and I sat in a conference, I could just hear the genuineness, hearing out their voice, the passion, and together and help motivate each other. Sometimes I think it's lacking, and I commend you on your hard work and the things that you're doing. That's what got me here today. I'm inspired. That's what the show is about.
I'm glad you tracked me down on this tour, because I tell you, sometimes I feel like I'm moving faster than the speed of light, just trying to get around and get to different things. But universities used to be in loco parente, is what they used to call it, where university used to act like the parents. And so now they moved away from that, where they say, they don't want universities to act like parents. They need to treat students like adults. But what we find, and if you probably talk to anybody else at this conference, you sit down and talk to some of these people that have been doing this work, they're going to tell you, we're not parents, we're the uncles and the aunties. We're the ones in the center talking to the students saying, you know what, I'm about to call your mama because I know what you're up to. Or, let me ask you a question about this because I know it's something that's really not on your radar. And so we're the ones that are pushing the students to go beyond what they would typically be doing. And maybe we are the ones that remind them of their parents, but we take on that role as the uncles and the aunties.
That is amazing. I believe in that so much. Even as myself, I grew up in a single mother home. And sometimes it is hard when you think that, especially being young and still trying to find your way, like some of these young college students, you have to find your niche. And sometimes when someone is there and they just giving you love, it helps you motivate yourself to focus. Sometimes we get distracted sometimes and we forget the purpose of what we're really doing. If you find something you really like and enjoying life and being good at it and excel at it, then that's the main goal. And us coming together as one. Not trying to divide each other or by color or gender. We all human beings. And this what the show is bringing light to, because everything in the world is art.
Mm-hmm.
What you interpret, what you see on a day-to-day basis is art. So let me ask you, for a young student coming to college, what will be like your process to, help and motivate them and try to reach them?
Well, I think primarily if you're thinking about historically underrepresented students that are coming to college, whether they're Latinx, that is Latino, Mexicano, Chicano, or whether you're talking about African students from the diaspora, students that are coming from, that are Asian or Asian American, or whether even there are students that are Native American. You're talking about students that have come from some type of a close family connection. So even if they only had one parent in the household, they had cousins, brothers, sisters. They had neighbors sometimes who stepped in to fill that role. So they're used to having hands-on. They're used to somebody checking on them and being there for them. And so we have to make that smooth transition from that community of a lot of support, a lot of love, a lot of people who feeling you and who have your back, to a community where you're just one in a number. And sometimes they might not ever call your number, So what we really look at doing, and what the work that I do, is first of all connecting with that family, that whole family. And that's one thing that a lot of times in higher education they miss now. They don't want to connect with the whole family. They want to connect with the student. But for our communities, and for communities of color particularly, you got to connect with the whole family, because you got to convince those parents or aunties and cousins and brothers and sisters that you are going to take care of and watch out for their young student. And you got to convince them of that you are even worthy of doing that. So when I meet a parent coming through, like for open house or things like that, I'm like, hey mama, hey daddy, hey big brother, big sister, or little brother, little sister. And I really try to make a connection with them and get on that same platform, whether it be with the student, because the student's going to come to us. But the student needs to know that they have that permission from the family, and that comes from us engaging the whole family. And so that's really what a big part of what I try to do is make sure that family feels comfortable with who we are in that student's life, and that we're engaging them. I'm supporting you as the father, as the mother. I'm coming to you to say, this is your student. You know more than anybody about this student, but I'm going to work with you. We're going to be partners in this thing to get this student through to success. And you got to have the parents and the family believe in that, and you have to have the student believe in that. And you start with believing that yourself, and knowing that I could be making a lot more money doing something else, being somewhere else, sitting around writing some books or something. I might have to talk about that later, I don't know. But I know that it's definitely, this is a calling for me, and this is a, kazi, and kazi is an African word that means your life work. And so this is my kazi, this is what I do, this is what God has created me for, to work with young people in college settings and make sure that they're successful and that they can do everything in their power to soak up what they need and feel a sense of ownership on a campus, and not be walking around that campus like you a visitor. You own this. This you. This is all you. So I love being on college campuses. I love working with our students. And I love getting an opportunity to talk to people that are doing the thing in the community like you. And that just inspires me more to know that the work that I'm doing is paying off.
Oh, likewise. I'm a big fan of yours. Like I said, I heard about this. I had to track you down and just interview you. Because I didn't know next time I'll be able to get it. You are one of the people that's on my list. I follow what you do. I love it. Your passion, your drive. Let me ask you, where do it come from?
Well, I don't know. I tend to think that it was born there. My mama's from Memphis. My daddy's from Birmingham. I was born in Tuskegee, Alabama, right in the heat of the civil rights. So I am a civil rights baby. Justice just runs through my blood. I mean, I think I'm going to maybe get a tattoo one day with my kids' initials, Isaiah, Kayla, Destiny, and Jacqueline, and I want to entitle it, I Keep Demanding Justice, for all the first letters in their name. Because that's what I feel. I feel like I do this because I want to leave this world a better place than how I found it. And if I can do that in my lifetime, just make the world a little bit better than how I found it, then my living won't be in vain. And that's just how I feel. So,
man, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart.
Of course.
For even just coming on the show and blessing us with that. You know, hopefully it inspires somebody else and open somebody's eyes up. Now, I did mention you say something about books. I read a couple of your books. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna put you on the bus. Now, I was thinking, you know, I had an idea. Maybe we should write a book together.
You know, that would be awesome. I would love
I'm
that.
serious.
It would motivate me to really get to writing
Uh-huh.
again, because I write all the time, but sometimes just thinking about a focus, and I could see with you,
Right.
I mean, because it's an unlikely kind of a match
Yeah.
that people would even find us together, but, you know, I think we would have something to say to a public and to people who understand the fact that you mix passion, you mix empathy, you mix skills, a skill set like what you have and a skill set with like what I have, and we just talk to the people.
Right.
I could see that happening.
I can see that. Now, y'all hear that, right? Now, I heard that. So, we're going to put it together, and it's going to be coming out soon.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to hold you to that now.
Okay.
All right, so y'all be looking out for that book, okay?
Yeah.
And y'all stay positive. You know, tune into the show. This been a great time. We at D. At the D.
At the D.
Ohio
State University. Yes, the Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State University.
And this has been the R.M. show brought to you by B1 Cell TV. Thank you and love you guys.
Thank you. Take care.